You know what Black Friday's all about, right? Chasing those deals. But imagine this, 1 minute you're shopping, the next you're running for your life. That's exactly what happened at a packed California mall. So let's get into it and break down how a day of holiday shopping turned into a scene of just absolute terror. And really, this is the crux of it all. That complete whiplash from one reality to another. You've got the usual Black Friday craziness, people everywhere, and then bam, gunshots. Suddenly, it's not about finding a bargain anymore. It's about finding a way out. Just pure survival. Okay, so let's really set the scene here. Before everything went sideways, this was just your typical, super crowded shopping day. Let's look at the specifics. I mean, seriously, nothing about this scene felt out of the ordinary. We're talking about the Westfield Valley Fair Mall in San Jose. It's late Friday afternoon, the day after Thanksgiving. The place is absolutely packed, just buzzing with people on the hunt for deals. You've seen this picture a million times, right? It could have been any mall, anywhere in the country. And in the middle of all that normalcy, this. 3 people shot, one of them just a teenager. So you have to ask, what on earth could set off this kind of violence in a crowded mall? Well, according to the police, it wasn't some grand plan. It all kicked off with a simple argument that just spiraled way out of control. Yeah, the San Jose police were really clear about this. This wasn't some random attack. All that chaos, the gunfire, the people getting hurt, it all started from a basic disagreement. It's just a terrifying reminder of how fast things can go from 0 to 100, you know? So there it is, straight from the police. An argument is what triggered all of this bloodshed, and the second those shots rang out, the entire mall just descended into absolute chaos. Let's try to get a sense of what it was actually like for the people who were trapped inside. And this next detail, it's pretty chilling. It comes from the police dispatch audio. As you can imagine, 911 calls were just flooding in, and one report described, well, a trail of blood leading from Macy's. Wow, I mean, that one phrase just paints such a horrifying picture of what was really going on. That's the kind of information first responders are hearing as they're racing to the scene. Just look at these accounts. People running for their lives, taking shelter inside stores during a lockdown, hiding behind mannequins, ducking underneath clothing racks, just doing anything they could to stay safe. It is pure survival instinct. So while all of this is happening, of course, law enforcement and first responders are rushing in. Let's talk about that official response. As the dust starts to settle, or at least as police start to get a handle on the situation, the true human cost of all this chaos starts to come into focus. We now know that 3 people were caught in the crossfire. And those victims, there were a man, a woman, and a 16-year-old girl, a teenager. But here's the one piece of good news in this whole terrible story. Thankfully, all of them were treated for non-life-threatening injuries. I mean, in a situation like this, that is a huge relief. Now, the police were really quick to make a very important clarification. They wanted everyone to know that what this was an isolated incident. It grew out of that one argument. What it was not was an active shooter situation. And that's a really key distinction, right? An active shooter's goal is to cause as much harm as possible. This was different. It wasn't random, it was targeted, even if it was incredibly reckless. But that's not where this story ends, because even with police on the scene and the victims being treated, there's one huge, unsettling piece of the puzzle still missing: the person who did this. And that's the part that's so tough to swallow. By Saturday morning, the very next day, the gunman still hadn't been caught. They were still at large. Think about that. The person who caused all this terror just vanished into the crowd and got away. You can just imagine the feeling in the community. Everyone is completely on edge. Which really leaves us with this big, lingering question. How does a place like a mall, a place you go to hang out, to shop, how does it recover its sense of safety after something like this? How do you go back and not feel that fear? It's a really tough question, and there's no easy answer. Not for the people of San Jose, and really not for any of us.